Next up, we've got Rachelle. Rachelle Cruz is from Hayward, California. She's the author of God's Will from Monsters.
Woo! You can buy it.
Yes, you can buy it. You can buy it today. Which won an American Book Award in 2018 and the 2016 Hillary Gravendyke Regional Poetry Prize. She co-edited Cuento Lost Things, an anthology of Philippine myths with Liz P. Sipingabon. The second edition of her comics resources, Experiencing Comics, An Introduction to Reading, Discussing, and Creating Comics, was published in 2021. An Emerging Voices Fellow, a Kundiman Fellow, and a Vona writer, she lives and writes in Southern California. And I will also be asking Angela back up on the stage, yes? Coming back to the stage for a collaboration piece.
Okay, what?
Yes, surprise!
No, come on, Angela.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It's so good to see you.
Hi.
Congratulations, Chris. This is an honor. And I just feel like I'm hearing a lot about the future of Filipinx literature and art tonight, and it's just inspiring. So we're going to perform a collaboration Angela and I wrote a couple years ago, and we figured we're here tonight, we're going to present it to all of you. So, anyone familiar with the Jetsons?
Yes.
The cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay, good, yay! Okay, Angela and I were worried that no one would remember the Jetsons. Do you all remember Rosie, the robot? Okay, good, good.
Yeah.
Okay,
My God.
so this is Rosie Redux, Filipinx Domestic Labor.
Okay.
Multiple shared interests between Angela and myself inspire this experimental poetic collaboration. Sorry. This was inspired by my creative work and scholarship on comic book study, science fiction, fantasy, Filipino mythology, and folklore, which parallels with Angela's research in queer brown gender studies, queer Filipinx studies, and interdisciplinary modes of storytelling. Thus, the Rosie Redux proceeds as a jumping off point into an investigation of Filipinx domestic workers through the lens of Filipinx and queer Filipinx identified futurists, time travel disruptors, and Pinay writers from the fifth transnational feminist dimension.
Okay.
We want to cite the Filipino comic book artist from Manila, Keith Sikat, for his work in progress film, comic book series OFW Outer Space Filipino Workers, as well as Hanna-Barbera's Imaginary on Push Button Space Age and North American Space Colonization. We feel play, improvisation, and most significantly subversion were important in approaching this artistic project. How can Filipinx futurists write or speculate the future when the past has been erased or transmogrified? How do we take up space as Filipinx occupiers in a homogenous North American mainstream culture? And what would happen if the robot and the femme domestic worker could speak back? Please enjoy.
Yes.
Rosie Redux Origins. Even pushing a button for an automatic feather duster to pass through the endlessly day-lit living room, or ordering a heaping of chicken nuggets on the Food-O-Matic was too much for Jane Jetson. Already outdated at production, nearly obsolete at rental, the hands at "You Rent a Maid" welded her permanent frills, head and hip, her permanently unthreatening dimples. When Jane leaned in for her name, a repeated XB500, XB500,
I'll call you Rosie.
a pat on the head and a shove on her bottom toward the kitchen and its switchboard of infinite buttons, its cabinets with the swivel of sparkling pills. Caster wheels churn. Upon manufacturing, the mouths trained.
Like family. Treat them like family.
Like family, never family. Her eyes light up when the pressure of the buttons release. A faint calling, a generational pulse. The joke tap on the shoulder from her sisters she keeps imagining. And she turns around.
But no one's there.
She's purchased to bring magic to this house. At the space bus without tears, she floats like
Rose Parade.
crosswire gliding like angel and vacuum, bow tie in the back, maid, butler, flying car, kitchen, cook of soup of bones.
They love pineapple upside down.
But punishable and kept home from school.
You see,
Housework gets us down, but her,
thanks, Daddy. Daddy, yes, yes, Daddy says.
we love her desperation, her ruby eyes, ruby button strip shows and dirty dishes. Oh Mac, oh Elroy.
Robo depression? Unfulfilled?
Give her dollars, no Pall Mall cigarettes, while she grills intestines over coal, way out in intergalactic history. Her red knobs where her eardrums should be. Red says,
Emergency.
red says,
Appliance and consumption.
we love how she's always ready to go.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, ma'am.
Antique jukebox, but still full of economy. Wake up 3D DTV. She asks if we like it.
Crunchy or silent?
We pray for this.
Happy, happy, home, happy, happy, home.
Let's go home.
Let her go home.
You ask, where does this engine belong?
In the rear.
Despite ending up in the freezing scrap pile the first time, she applied and was on rotation again. Her peripheral location detection sequence didn't detect this new generation of mechano-made 2000s.
Hold your lift off. Just a parsec. It's just polite to ask a woman's age. Just be tactful. Sneak a peek tonight when she's online.
Hyperdrives hovering to guarantee totally silent service.
She's totally flipped her microchips.
They said, the one time she shushed Roy Boy in the middle of homework complaints.
I'll be happy to take her as a down payment.
After 2 weeks, they stopped remembering her, watching holograms of baseball players and dehydrated sex, videos of robots versus robots as the cosmic compactor warmed up, pressurized. At the Milky Way motel, no robots, no place to rest her weary circuits.
Sorry, sweetheart. Can't use ya. In fact, I've got 20 of you stacked up in the basement collecting moon dust.
In the basement, stacked up, collecting. Instead, now cleaning windows, planets wide.
Spray and wipe, spray and wipe.
The arm, the torso, the leg, then the whole body. The body hanging soon to be swallowed by the galaxy.
Grab a hold of me. Hold me.
While the mister takes out his phone and hits the red button and watches. All of their meals of Venusian delight, sedatives, and secrets.
Swear you won't tell. I swear on my mother's rechargeable beacons.
Delighted they're no longer clogging up her computerized canister. No more fillets of leftovers. Thank you.